How different that is from just going to your regular house doctor and doing your annual blood test.
Very different because a blood test uh, just captures a moment in time. So I'll give you an example of myself. Uh, I really get stressed when I'm given blood, even though it's not the needle. I'm all tattooed, so it's not like the actual needle. But there's something that happens when I get extremely stressed. Sometimes I've even passed out given my blood for my annual physical. So I'm getting my blood work done, and I told the nurse that I don't do really well with it. She said, don't worry about it. And I'm getting my blood drawn, and I hear somebody saying, "Hey, come here. I need help." Okay, so I guess I was sort of sliding off the chair, and they came to me and they gave me some juice, and I felt better. And she's like, "Oh, well, now we have to continue." I didn't realize they stopped. Okay, fine. I went to get a review with my doctor, functional medical professional, and goes over my blood work and says, "It looks to me like your blood glucose level is a little high." Like, that doesn't make any sense. I don't eat sugar. I don't eat meat. I don't eat sugar. I really watch what I put in my body. So, a most doctors would say, okay, high blood sugar, we have to give you medication to bring your blood sugar down. What she did collaboratively with me, and this is what a blood test would normally show you: high blood sugar, moment in time. What she said is, it could be that the cortisol that was released in your bloodstream because of stress heighten your expression of your blood glucose level. So if you're really concerned about that, I can give you a glucose monitor. Let's monitor that for several weeks and see if it's really true. And it wasn't. I did that and it wasn't. So the difference is when you're capturing a moment in time, there's other factors that may be associated with, like stress. And if you don't know this, and if you're not looking at longitudinal over time, what your genetic predispositions are, what is that epigenetic expression, what is the treatment plan that's being, and also we use AI as well. What about, are there 100 people similar to your genetics that have taken this and showed that it worked, that it was efficacious? So you're building a real history of the person, what they're genetically predisposed to, what their lifestyle choices are, and how to mitigate the expression of things that they.
Hmm. I had no idea that your glucose levels could go up just by stress factors. Oh,
There's a
wow.
lot of different things. Well, there's a lot of different factors. So look, I'll talk about pain as well. So there's a lot of times where people have some inflammation and pain, and maybe they have gut issues. Well, for example, there's a gene called fatty acid amide hydrolase. That gene produces an enzyme that actually metabolizes what's called anandamide. Anandamide, or AEA, is a endogenous endocannabinoid, meaning that we produce that from our brain. And what it's used for is to help maintain what's called homeostasis, so balance within our bodies. And when we have this genotype, a certain genotype that's called homozygous on this gene, that genotype means that we are metabolizing more anandamide than the average person. So we're producing less anandamide than the average person. Okay, so now if we're producing less anandamide than the average person, I'll give you an example of how that shows up in your life. So let's say I'm walking down the street in Cologne and a car comes out of nowhere and almost hits me. Well, I'm gonna have that fight or flight experience. I'm gonna have some adrenaline. I'm gonna have some dopamine. I'm gonna have some norepinephrine. I'm gonna have some cortisol. All that is excreted into my bloodstream. Now, when my brain realizes there's no lion chasing me in the jungle, safe, there's a couple things that happen. There's a reuptake of those neurochemicals, and then your brain releases new neurochemicals to get you back to balance or homeostasis. One of those is anandamide. Now, if you're producing less anandamide, or I am because of my genotype, I am not I'm not excreting enough anandamide so that cortisol level can stay longer in my bloodstream. If it stays longer in my bloodstream, there's several things that can happen. It can lower my pH level, make me more acidic. It can actually help express an overactive immune response. So now my immune system is overreacting to that. And what I can feel is inflammation and discomfort, usually starting in my joints. So my ankles, knees, hips, neck, back, etc. And if I have predispositions to gut health issues that are also inflammatory, it can flip those on as well. And now I'm having some IBD and other things I may be predisposed to because of that stress factor hormone that's staying longer in my bloodstream. So if I go to a regular doctor and I say, I'm having some pain sort of in my arm and my elbow, well, the things that they tell you, and I've had this experience many times, and so that people that I work with, they say, well, we can give you medication for that to reduce the inflammation, or we can give you an injection in that. Okay, well, pain is an indicator. If I'm feeling discomfort or pain, you need to follow down. I didn't hurt my elbow. I wasn't playing tennis. Why am I getting this pain? Why do you want to get rid of my pain? Maybe you want to follow it down and say, well, the root cause of the pain may be the extra cortisol, the stress that is actually creating that overactive immune response. So this is the way the functional medicine or healthcare, that's preventative healthcare, that looks at what's the root cause. They do that in traditional Chinese medicine and other things instead of giving you a shot or instead of giving you a pill to numb the pain or remove the pain. And we in Western society have gotten to a point where we're pain averse. You have pain somewhere, we go to a doctor, please give me something to get rid of the pain. And I'm saying that maybe pain is an indicator of something else. The pain is there for a reason. It's telling you, look deeper, follow it to see what the root cause. If we address the root cause, we don't have to numb the symptom. We can get to the cause of the problem.
No, the pain means you're weak. You just need to pop a pill and forget about it.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
Damn, I had no idea. So stress, just stress, normal stress normal stress can make the.
Well, I gotta tell you, man. I gotta tell you. So when I was a kid, and even now, my mom always told me. She goes,
Mm,
"Stress is the number one priority. Control your stress. Control your responses. Stress causes all the diseases. Well, it's not all the diseases, but stress is a big factor to a lot of autoimmune, to a lot of different conditions. But everything in life, like looking at thousands of genetic tests, I can tell you that it's not just one thing. It's called polygenic. So, meaning that there's a combination of things that if you know that somebody has, they're more likely to express that. It's not just one. So, we're very linear in medicine in the Western. So, you have this, there's a root cause of this. Now we're going to go get rid of this. But maybe there's a number of factors. So, you got to go and check off that actually causes that. So,
yeah, yeah. Um, I was thinking about the lie detector. You know, like everyone says, like you cannot trust 100% the lie detector. And in my head, it's like it doesn't even make sense because it does not detect if you're lying or not detect stress level, but just the fact that you're taking a lie detector test, you're stressed about it. So by nature, it's ridiculous. It should not exist, in my opinion. And as far as I know, it's still a thing.
yeah, it's funny that you say that because that's the biggest defense against a lie detector when you go to court. That's